It looks like they took flood damaged furniture they probably got for free behind the Goodwill and then repurposed it and left it moldy. It looks moldy. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Nomad Brad coming to you from my box truck. So I'm bringing you another van life video review today. This is a build tour. We're going to look at some vans for sale. And that's really what I wanted to do, is help people figure out what's a good deal. But what I also want to do is help people figure out what is absolute trash. This week, we're taking out the trash. I was cruising Van Life Trader looking for deals, and I came across these boho vans for sale on Van Life Trader, and I was absolutely appalled at the build quality. These are Instagram and TikTok vans. These are marketed purely towards young, inexperienced women, most likely people that have never lived in a van, possibly never even lived away from home. And so they are taking these builds, slapping them together with some of the worst carpentry I've ever seen, posting them as off-grid ready. They're selling these to poor, unsuspecting women that are going to get a mile away from the deal and realize they made a huge mistake. Okay, so let's go ahead and cruise through the photos of the Florida Van Life Company Beach Boho van, which I have affectionately named the Pink Stink because it's pink and the build stinks. Let's take a look at it. So the one thing I do want to mention right off the bat, give them some credit. You got to give credit where credit's due. They cut the ceiling out, it looks like, and they added this wood high top piece. So they did extend the ceiling height a little bit, so you'll be able to stand, depending on how tall you are, you'll be able to stand up at least when you're in the middle of the van. So you do have some increased headroom. Now the first thing I'm looking at is, they say the van exterior is completely sealed, but when I look at the edges on this plywood roof, which is exposed to the sun and the rain and humidity and water all the time, there's a big dark line here. It looks like there's an area that either didn't get painted, or there's possibly a seam, like a air gap between two pieces of wood. Either way, that does not look sealed to me. That does not look sealed. This corner does not look sealed, and the top right here does not look sealed. So already it looks like you're probably going to get water, moisture inside. It might be a bad day. Now we're going to move on to some more photos of the van. Let's take a quick look at the dreamy boho interior of the Pink Stink. Now the first thing I noticed is the carpentry work. I mean, just look at the seams on this wood. Nothing lines up. There's no straight lines. It's just the angles are all funky. Maybe they went to Home Depot and they were rummaging through the scrap bin and they just found pieces of wood that other people had cut and tossed in the scrap bin, and they brought these back to their conversion shop and just screwed them into place. It's quite possible that that's what they did, because that's sure what it looks like. Now, I know that boho, I want to be clear, I know boho is like this kind of like chic slash vintage rustic look where not everything's perfect. It's not a modern, classic, clean design. However, boho does not mean shoddy craftsmanship. It does not mean rushed labor. It does not mean half-assed work. And that is 100% what this van is. So that's one interior shot. Here's the roof shot. So they cut a hole in this plywood roof they built. They dropped a piece of plexiglass on. It looks like they just screwed it down and then they taped it. So you can see there's tape all around the edges. Now, it could be watertight. It absolutely could be waterproof. The tape where it's been taped at, that's fine. But the thing that I want people to understand is you now have what looks like about a 4-foot by 2-foot hole in the roof of your van where the sun is going to be beaming directly into your van all day, and your van is going to heat up like an easy bake oven. And you have no way to stop that. I mean, they have it looks like a hammock inside, and they might have like a curtain or something that slides across. But even if you have a curtain, it doesn't matter because the heat is already inside your van. The minute the sun hits the plexi, that heat is transferring right through, and you are now living in an easy bake oven. Absolutely ridiculous. Terrible idea. Do not buy this van. Here's your solar setup. Now, what they did is they took the Jackery 100-watt foldable portable suitcase solar panel, and that's this guy right here. Jackery Solar Saga 100-watt panel. Now, this is designed to be a flexible portable panel that you carry with you, you store it inside, and you occasionally use it. And occasionally you put it outside and you charge the Jackery, and then you put it away. Guys, I've used this item. This item is made out of fabric. It's made out of fabric. It's got zippers on it. This is not an item that is designed to be sitting in the sun 24, all day, living in the elements 24/7. The edges are fabric, the seams are fabric. This thing is not designed for constant duty. And what they've done is they've screwed this portable panel into the roof. They just screwed it in and said, "Hey, there we go. Look, now we got solar, guys. Well, it's boho." There's a huge gap. It's not mounted flat because the way these suitcase panels work, they have a huge seam at the top. They're not designed to really fit flat on a roof like that. So they're using this unit as it's not intended. Already, portable solar panels do not have a very good lifespan. This one is going to have a worse lifespan because it's not designed to be in the elements 24/7. This thing is going to fall apart and quit working in probably less than 12 months. Mark my words, less than 12 months, this poor person that bought this van is not going to have a functioning solar system. Absolutely dreadful design. Move to the back. Just more abominations. I mean, you can see they just spray painted everything. It looks like they just spray painted it. The doors, the storage doors are not square. You can see the overspray onto this like rattan material. Rattan material, white frame. They spray painted it. Look, there's white overspray here, overspray here, overspray here. Like, I don't understand. It boggles my mind. And they call themselves artists and creators and makers. They should be embarrassed by this. And then they cut this like hideous hole out of the roof to let the third brake light exposed. But like, what did they cut that with? Looks like they cut it with an old rusty spoon. Absolutely dreadful. Now we're gonna another look at the inside. So it's got this like Magic Chef 112-volt fridge freezer combo, like a pretty nice size residential, like a dorm fridge. But keep in mind, you can't power that off the Jackery. I mean, sure, the Jackery could run it maybe for a few hours, but this fridge, it's probably 100 watts at least, 100-watt fridge. You have a 500-watt-hour battery bank. So if you did nothing but run the fridge with your Jackery, you could only get like 5, maybe 6 hours of runtime, and then your Jackery's dead, and your fridge is dead, and you can't charge your phone, and your food's gonna spoil. So you're not doing anybody any favors by putting a fridge that can't be run off the solar system. And then they tell you, oh, it's got shore power. Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to plug into shore power and run your fridge, and then you're going to run down to the beach and live the van life for 3-4 hours, and then you're going to run back and plug in somewhere to run your fridge. It doesn't make sense. It's absolute madness. Whoever built this is living in the boho clouds. They're completely delusional to think that they're doing anyone any favors. They are doing nothing but creating a nightmare for people. Again, let's look at the craftsmanship. The doors, I don't know what's going on. They don't align. There's like marks from hinges that are not there. Nothing's lined up. Look at this piece up here. This looks like it's moldy, like they took some old furniture from a garage sale that was flood damaged. Keep in mind, this van's built in Florida. It looks like they took flood damaged furniture they probably got for free behind the Goodwill and then repurposed it and left it moldy. It looks moldy. Honestly, I feel like if I lived in a van that was in this state of disrepair, I would be depressed. I mean, nothing about this van would make me feel good. I would be embarrassed to bring people in and have them look at this. I wouldn't feel happy. I wouldn't feel light and bright. Everything's dingy. Nothing lines up. It's asymmetrical. It's chaos in here. There's a hammock inside, it looks like. I don't know why. I guess so you can lay under the plexiglass sunroof and get baked by the sun. They're listing it at $29,850. And what is this? This is a 2000 Dodge Caravan. They're calling it a Caravan. It's like the B Series van. Either way, 2000 Dodge van, 116,000 miles, gasoline engine. $29,850. Now, I wanted to show you guys, first of all, what is the van worth? Because once we figure out what the van's worth, then we can figure out what how they're pricing the conversion, what they're claiming the conversion is worth. So I just hopped onto Facebook Marketplace and I searched for vans, and here's a 2002 Dodge Ram van. It's basically the same thing. It's 2 years newer, and it has half the mileage. It only has 54,000 miles. Otherwise, similar vehicle, automatic trans, gasoline motor. And so how much is this van that has half the mileage and is 2 years newer? They're asking $6,300. So this van used is worth about $6,000. And so with the build listed at $29,000, that means they're valuing the build, components, and labor at $23,850. $23,850 is how much they're going to charge you for this build out. As we peruse the build out, let's just look at their claims. It has a microwave, an oven, a kitchen, a sink, a stove, a table, a refrigerator. It has all those items. Let's see what they say about it. Are you ready to create lifelong memories in a newly renovated, cute, boho dream conversion van? Question mark? Exclamation point. Are you ready? They think you're ready. Live a dreamy life in this beautiful tiny home on wheels. Okay, here we go. Runs and drives great. Mechanically, it's in good shape. Fridge, shore power hookup. Now, this is where it starts to get really misleading. Plenty of juice to charge all your electronics, including laptop, cameras, phone, etc. 100-watt solar panel securely mounted to the van roof. Jackery 500 battery. So it has 100 watts of solar, which is almost the least amount of solar you could install, and a Jackery 500, which is a super tiny power bank. Now listen to this, guys. This is our favorite power system yet. It's their favorite. Out of all the power systems that exist, this Jackery 500 is their favorite. It's easy to use. It's totally dialed in. It's user-friendly. The solar panel is always charging the battery. That's false. False claim number one. The solar panel only charges the battery when the sun is out. Now, I know some people might say you're nitpicking, but this is just the beginning of where the deceit starts. Solar panel is always charging the battery. No, it's not. Okay, here's the next part. Plus, you can connect more panels later if you'd like to add more electronics. You can connect more panels. That's lie number two. Lie number two, outright lie. This is the person that built the van. They're just bullshitting you because they want you to buy their piece of crap boho dream machine. So let's look at Jackery's website. I went straight to the source. This is the Jackery Explorer 500 portable power station. This is the power station that they're including in their boho dream machine. Okay, so we're going to go down and look at the stats for it. Jackery has a really nice little layout here where they will help you figure out how much power you need. So the Jackery Explorer 500 portable power bank, it has 639 watt hours. So for you folks at home that aren't sure, a 100 amp hour battery, which is your standard like lithium basic single battery, is about 1100 watt hours. So this Jackery has half the capacity of a 100 amp hour battery. So it's basically nothing. It's nothing more than charging maybe your phone and a laptop maybe once or twice. That's it. That's all you're going to do with this Jackery. You're not going to run the fridge. You're not going to run all of the other devices that they have in there. And so now we look at solar. So here's what they have, a 100-watt solar panel. And if we look at it, you can only use one. You can only add one solar panel to this Jackery system. So the truth is that you cannot go and add additional panels. So already they're lying. They're like, oh, you can just add more solar. No, you can't. Now you can buy a bigger panel. You can buy the Jackery Solar Saga 200. That's the max. The max capacity for this thing is 200 watts. But you can't just add it. You have to replace the existing 100-watt panel. And now let's look at the next thing here. They talk about how there's like this is off-grid capable. Well, the recharge time for this Jackery is 9 hours. It's going to take you 9 hours being parked in the sun to recharge this Jackery with your 100-watt solar panel. And for those folks that don't know, you really don't get 9 hours of sunlight during the day. I mean, yes, it's bright for 9 hours, but in order for a solar panel to really be efficient and put out that 100 watts, the sun needs to be directly over the panel. It needs to be like in about this range. So when the sun's coming up in the morning and going down in the evening, you're not really getting 100 watts of power. So it's going to take you multiple days to charge the Jackery. I don't understand it, guys. This is not a good Instagram van anyway. It's dreadful. You know how many filters, how many TikTok filters would it take to make this van actually look good? The answer is all of them. You would need all the filters. Hashtag all the filters for this van to make it look good. Absolute madness. Do not buy this van, guys. Again, overspray on the handles. Like they just did a terrible job of taping stuff off when they painted it. It looks terrible. Look, there's paint on the lock. The lock has overspray on it. These are the things you want to look at when you're buying a rig. You know, like just basic competency of the person that installed it. And if it just looks this bad just from the photos, imagine how terrible it looks in person. So I wanted to just take a moment to show you guys this. I went ahead and checked Florida Van Life Company to see if they had an Instagram. Of course they do. You got to have an Instagram to peddle your bullshit builds. It's the only place you're going to find people dumb enough to buy this shit. And so I was just looking through. They've actually sold a ton of vans. Look at this. Look at all these vans they've sold. But what's interesting is a lot of their vans, some of their initial vans were actually pretty nice. Like they started out with, I'm cool with boho, guys. I'm cool with the designs. I'm cool with the colors. I just want to see quality builds. Like even if you look at this bus here, it's not bad. It's got, I mean, nice flooring. You know, all the construction looks pretty straight. I mean, the ceiling's a little patchwork, but that's fine. Look at that nice butcher block counter. This is a fine build. I have no problem with this. I think they nailed it. This is boho. This is acceptable. I wouldn't be depressed waking up in this van. Now, it still has the huge skylight, which I think is a mistake, but that's not for me to decide. But this van, it's fine. It's not that bad. Now, look at this. They have this pinned comment of they were interviewed by Insider Magazine, and their quote literally says, "It doesn't feel like work to us." And now look at the photo that they chose to show. On the left is this box truck conversion. On the right is, I don't know, like that is not at all what any of their builds look like. Look how clean that is. All the wood is nice. It fits pretty well. They have a nice stainless Rivati sink. That's a clean build. They can be proud of that. That looks nothing like the crap that they're churning out now. So what happens? What happened to them? Why are they now churning out crap and trying to pawn it off on poor unsuspecting wannabe influencers? And I noticed here at the end of the post, it says, until they find time to set out on the road, they're totally happy making tiny homes on wheels for others, which doesn't feel like work at all. It doesn't feel like work because it's not work. You guys are just slopping shit together. So I wanted to show you guys that. There's a reason that on this business interview, they put up one of their best builds and they didn't put up one of these new builds because they know their new builds are shit. They're probably embarrassed of them, and that's probably why they haven't sold. It looks like the ones that have sold were done a lot cleaner and were a lot better quality. Do not buy for them. Let the market decide. Let them know you're not dumb. You're not going to be fooled by their glamorous Instagram site. They're trying to sell you trash with $26,000 builds. I'm sorry, $23,000 builds. They're spending a couple $1,000s on materials. They're knocking them out in a month, and they want you to give them $23,000 so they can be interviewed by Business Insider and talk about how they're outstanding entrepreneurs. Keep in mind, this van, the Pink Stink, this is a what did we decide? $23,000 is what they're valuing the build at. $23,000. You tell me, guys, when you look through these photos, where did the $23,000 go? Now, keep in mind the vans I showed you last week. For $30,000, you could get a complete shuttle bus, nicely built out, with a nice kitchen, with a toilet, with a functional solar system, for only a few $1,000s more than this abomination. So buyer beware. Be careful what you do. Don't fall for the tricks. Don't fall for the tricks. I know if you're especially a young female that wants to join van life and you want to get on TikTok and Instagram and share your travels, beware. Do not buy this heap of trash. That's it, guys. That's it for the video. nomadbrad503@gmail.com. Also, if you have a van build that you want me to review or roast, send me an email. Let me know. Guys, I'm trying to be honest here. I brought you 2 videos that delivered exceptional value. They were exceptional deals. This is complete trash. I'm just being honest. I'm always going to give it to you straight. So let me know what you think. Send me a van you want me to check out, and I'll give it to you straight. See you guys next time. Nomad Brad signing out.